Hi, I'm Stefan Hamann, and this is my brother Sebastian.
And we both are founders and co-CEOs of Shopware.
When people who don't know us look at Shopware, they might just think of us as an e-commerce company or a software company. And of course, they wouldn't be wrong. But they wouldn't be exactly right either.
Half of your life revolves on something you've created. I guess you're personally attached, right?
Absolutely. I mean, let's say I started the company with 16 years, Sebastian was 14 years old.
Basically, nothing more than a PC, and you also had one, right? Or a Mac, I'm not sure.
And a Mac. We hadn't even finished school at this point. But the whole thing really took off. Boom, Shopware was born.
The moment we went open source, our growth rate just went through the roof. We went from a few hundred customers to several thousands.
So we hired more people, moved into bigger offices, started organizing events.
And as a result, our community and partner days just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Shopware is not just a product, it's also not just a community or an ecosystem, it's about the people. And I'm really proud to see what we just reached in 12 months. But if you think around the time period of 25 years, it's completely incredible.
Please welcome to the main stage, Shopware founder and co-CEO, Sebastian Hamann.
Welcome and good morning to our Shopware Community Day 25. And of course, to our 25th Anniversary. Finally, we made it. Ich wechsle ganz kurz auf Deutsch. Ganz ehrlich, ich habe mich mega auf diesen Tag heute gefreut. Endlich kann er stattfinden, nachdem wir ihn jetzt verschieben mussten im Juni. Toll, dass ihr alle hier seid. Switching back to English, just said I really were, personally really looking forward for this special day. 25 years of Shopware. This means for me and my brother, personally, a lot. And if you think about it, 25 years of Shopware means also 25 years of building and driving this great community. Shopware is all about people coming together, like today. And let's be honest, let's be brutal honest. Shopware would be nothing, absolutely nothing without its community, without you. So before we move on, I would really like to start with a huge, huge thank you. Thank you for driving and pushing Shopware forward. This is for you. And let's please immediately continue with the thank you to our Shopware crew, who's working hard behind the scenes to make everything possible and pushing the company forward. You guys are great, and they're doing a phenomenal job. Well, as I was just thinking about, 25 years of Shopware, how to structure the keynote, it's a little bit hard to compress 25 years of history into a keynote speech, and it was, simply take us too long. So therefore, in a nutshell, very quickly, as a founder, personally involved as a human in the history of Shopware, there are three things that always come into my mind if I think about, 25 years of Shopware. The first thing is 25 years, personally for me, felt a little bit like a superhero adventure. I was still 14 years old, Stefan was 16 years old. We were these underdogs, no one really knew us, and we were competing still against the giants. And fun fact, we back then actually really created our own superhero as an advertisement for Shopware. I'm pretty sure some of you know him, right? This guy here, who knows him? Shopman? Yeah? Maybe you can find him today here at the Shopware booth. We had a retro memory booth. Heike already called it out, right? With real Shopware merch from the former days. And yeah, we had really, comic strips like Shopman Begins or The Shopping Dead. Second, 25 years of Shopware felt also a little bit like a cinema movie with a lot of popcorn, of course. All these ups and downs, the cliffhangers, the moment that really make us feel, did this really happen at Shopware? You know what's now following, right? Yes, we back then created our real own cinema movie called Shopware. Episode 5 took place in a real cinema. Who of you have seen episode 5? Yeah, that's great. It was a fun experience, right? Across the cinema tour in Germany. And third, also, obviously, 25 years of Shopware for me felt also like, a little bit like a brother sitcom, as I'm still running this company now for 25 years with the same co-CEO, my brother, and I know him even longer for 40 years now. So, believe me, this brings its own episodes with it, as we both are fundamentally, and I mean it really, fundamentally different. My brother was, always like the crazy tech nerd, while I was more the, always serious guy. Just kidding, I was more into design, right? But I think in particular, this contrast kept us together and made us really work together and build a product, tech and design, to create what we know, Shopware. As a kid, I wanted to play outside. Stefan always wanted to watch Star Trek, right? Some Star Trek fans here? You can connect with Stefan, by the way, later. Yeah, it was fun. But again, it made us work 25 years as a management team together. And so that's, in a nutshell, 25 years of Shopware. So let's pause for a moment, as I would like to move on with the keynote. The keynote today is not about tons of new features or announcements. It's more about positioning and strategy, how we together can shape the future of commerce. And that's where I would like to keep the focus for the next 55 minutes. So let's laser fast forward to today. Because what started local is nowadays a global platform. Shopware is trusted by leaders and a lot of hidden champions alike. You find Shopware everywhere, in B2C and in B2B businesses. Let's take one of our latest go-lives as an example. Upper Baby in the B2C space. Pretty sure some of you know Upper Baby. They're a leader in their category for, baby gears and strollers. And with Shopware, they made their go-live. They consolidated 29 websites into 7 global sales channels under one Shopware backend in less than 8 months, what is above average. And they enriching now the shopping experiences with the new composable front ends. And for them, it's all about, starting automating e-commerce operations faster, while on the other hand, spending their resources on differentiation. Another example from the B2B space, Interpneu. It's one of Europe's largest tire distributors, and they're really massive. So we're talking about 350,000 products, 50,000 tires shipped daily, and 16 million price updates every day. With this, it's clear you need a reliable, strong commerce engine that is, highly scalable. And these are just 2 examples of how Shopware can create real impact together with the community. It's on the one hand, it's all about, automating your commerce processes, to reducing the cost of commerce, unchain your resources and spend them into differentiation. I'm pretty sure differentiation will become the most critical factor in the future of commerce. And that led to sustainable growth. Understand your customer, your behavior, stick in the mind, be close to them, create experiences that are standing out. So automate faster and differentiate stronger. Let's take a step back to the bigger picture of commerce. And for me, there's no doubt. Commerce at all, I'm pretty sure everyone experienced it in the same way, is becoming more and more complex. And if we think about it as complexity on an axis, this is exactly where digital commerce projects differ the most. With Shopware, you can start smart and simple and grow as your business grows. And as soon as the complexity arises, this is exactly where Shopware creates strong impact and jumps in. We just not, handle complexity. We really love to master it. But let's face it. So on the lower end, you see mainly standardized B2C use cases. You see a lot of commoditized products, mainly small catalogs, the domestic single brands, less internationalization, and overall, I would say, less complexity. And as soon as you go more and more to the other end, to advanced B2C, more sophisticated B2B use cases, the complexity rises really fast. For example, from more commoditized products to more complex product setups, configurable products with tons of variations, attributes, from standardized B2C only to blended business models with B2B, distribution networks, sometimes with virtual products, with renting, with subscriptions on top. From small catalogs to large, massive product catalog data, and from a single brand to a multi-brand setup, distribution, and global expansion. So commerce projects nowadays differ in particular on the complexity axis. The question will be, how do digital commerce platforms position themselves along this axis? So let's take a close look. In my perspective, we can roughly distinguish between 3 different platform models. All of them has its own strengths and its own limitations, for sure. On the left side, we have mainly what we call in-the-box solutions. They are mainly closed systems, software as a service, SaaS, plug and play, and ready to go. And they are great if you fit in the box to start very quick, right? But they can come to some limitations as soon as you rise and grow with the complexity. And on the other extreme, we see highly bespoke solutions, highly fragmented, full of microservices. They are very powerful, yes, but they're mainly, for large enterprise and corporates, and they can become very complex and costly to run. And then, in the middle, is what we see as open box solutions, where Shopware fits in. Open, flexible, and with no artificial limitations. And when we talk about open box, this is in particular what sets Shopware apart. It's built on our core value and belief in openness. It means for us, it's your freedom of choice. You decide where to host your data, right? Be it SaaS, be it PaaS, be it your own cloud. It's your data, it's your payment decision, it's your single sign-on, your customer login. You never get stuck. Shopware adapts to you and not the other way around. And you stay in control. And we're going to invest heavily further in our very own commerce core engine. For example, with the latest update of the Shopware version 6.7, we significantly improved the performance. Let's face it. For example, if more customers hitting the shop, more orders coming in, multiple checkouts per second simultaneously, and parallel updates, parallel price updates, for example. So all of these 3 things at once, at the same time. And the result? A 6 times faster response time compared to the previous version of Shopware. And if you want to go deeper into, P95 latency or P99 latency, I have to admit my latency diploma is a little bit outdated, but don't worry, we have enough engineers here today who are really happy to talk to you and go with you deeper into the topic. And these performance improvements are really come into play at a lot of customer projects. We have customers at scale with, for example, 102 million SKUs, 1.4 million requests per hour, or over 4,000 orders per minute. But it's not only us pushing the platform forward. It's in particular a whole ecosystem and community who is contributing. Over 38,000 commits on GitHub from over 800 contributors. That's great. A lot of the developer community is today here. They are contributing constantly. And this is the beauty of open source. We don't stop here. As many of you know, we launched a couple of months ago our new community hub. And this is the central home base for every community member. You should figure it out. It's great. There you get the latest news feeds, events. You can connect to like-minded people. There are, clubs, high-quality learning passes with gamification approaches. And over 2,800 people are already registered, and the number is increasing and increasing. Today we have here a booth where you can discover it by your own, and maybe you can earn one of these, special edition pins for the Shopware Community Day you can collect along the Community Day events. I think it's also limited, so feel free to catch one. The ecosystem at all is constantly evolving, and it's also great to see, from the beginning, as we built it, Shopware, Stefan and I always believed in a strong network of trusted partners. And this partner network is also constantly evolving and growing. Today, over 1,700 partners worldwide are running and working with Shopware. And today, I'm proud to welcome several outstanding partners in both, in Europe and in the US. Diva-E, American Eagle, Human Element, KPS, Planet, and .Source. And all of them have decades of experiences in building sophisticated projects. Happy to have you on board. And in the last 12 months, Shopware merchants activated more than 360,000 extensions. 360,000 extensions in Shopware. That's huge, and that's also, for me, showcasing the power of an open ecosystem. The whole ecosystem is constantly evolving further and growing. And we continue to invest in the ecosystem, in the community. And as a result, this also translates in a very healthy company growth for Shopware. For 2 years in a row now, we've been growing for more than 40% in year-over-year annual recurring revenue. And what makes me especially proud is that more than half of the growth is coming from new customers. Strong brands recently choose Shopware as their foundation and their e-commerce strategy. Many of them in the US. Brands like Blue Alley, Apple Baby, Polo Motorrad, Virgin Active Agraris, and many, many more. And we're truly grateful that Shopware has been recognized by the EHI Retail Institute in Germany as the #1 commerce platform for the top 1,000 shop list for 3 years in a row now. And in the Benelux region, this development continues. Shopware has been recognized also for 3 years in a row as the 5-star rated open source commerce software. So I think it's fair to say that today, after 25 years, Shopware is stronger and better positioned than ever before. And yes, looking back 25 years, sounds a little bit crazy for me, to be honest, because I don't feel too old. But let's not only look back, let's also now look forward, because a lot of is happening in our industry, right? And obviously, I'm talking about AI. We're entering a new era of commerce, Agentic Commerce. You may have heard about it. What was, back then the shift to mobile will be today the shift to AI agents. And it's happening. And let's be honest, how many of you have been used ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, or another servers in the last week? Okay, seems like everyone, no one is missing. And pretty sure also many of you using AI services to prepare a purchase decision, questions around products, some specifications, and so on. And I heard already that more than half of the younger generations, their entry point is now AI for their product search. The shift is clearly happening, and we see it on our own behavior every day. And if we look forward, we can separate the human buying decisions into 2 main buckets. If you think about it, how we buy as a human. And the first bucket is rational buying decisions. How do you make buying decisions as a human? Very rational is the first one. Think about, very logical, fact-driven, analytical. Everything you need for your daily life, for example. It's more, think about reordering supplies, comparing some specifications, or simply what's necessary for your business, if it is, for example, B2B. So at this example, it's all about price and performance and efficiency. On the other hand, we have emotional buying decisions. It's more impulsive, desire-driven, often shaped by something that makes us feel completely different to the rational. This new design sneaker, this beautiful interior craft. So it's less about the logic, it's more about the connection, the identification and inspiration you can have. And we believe at Shopware, AI will bring these two experiences to a complete new level. For me, it's clear. Every one of us here in the room will have in the near future its own AI agent who understands you, your behavior, be it in your personal life, be it in your professional life, and will act on your behalf. And first and foremost, I believe that rational buying decisions were getting completely automated by AI agents. What also means that experiences becomes the most critical factor in digital commerce in the future. Analysts are clear. If we move forward to 2030, analysts are already predicting that 1/3 of all e-commerce transactions worldwide will be handled by AI agents. 30% of all e-commerce transactions. And it's pretty clear that this piece of the pie, right, is just getting bigger and bigger over time. So e-commerce is shifting into Agentic Commerce. And that's the paradigm shift everyone is talking about in our industry, right? It's happening right now as we speak. So the old world of commerce, as we know it and experience it, is still fading and declining. The old SEO tricks won't work anymore. In the new world of commerce, new rules will come into play. The disruptor is clearly Agentic Commerce, where rational buying decisions get it heavily automated and experiences becomes the real differentiation. So the question will be, what is your approach? What is your strategy to the new world of commerce? Do you have already one in charge? Well, for me, the truth is there is no single strategy, no single playbook, not this one playbook to rule them all. As markets, customers, industries, products are simple, too different. Which also means every one of you, every company needs to define its own path to the new world of commerce. But I truly believe this. Even in the new world of commerce, three things remain the same. They remain essential. For me, it's clear. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. It will stay. You need to reduce the cost of commerce. It's pretty clear. It will continue. If you like it or not, you have to be ahead of your competition, automate faster, and use your valuable resources to differentiate stronger. Be very, very close to your customer. Understand the customer behavior, real customer behavior. Stand out of the crowd, build experiences that sticks in the mind, customer loyalty programs, be it in B2C, fans, community bases, or in B2B, distribution networks, a whole ecosystem. You have to stand out. Efficiency, differentiation, and the third, obviously, you have to be where your customers are, right? What means shape agentic commerce. Of course, you have to be there. But here's this, on your own terms. Stay in control in the world of agents and don't fall into the dependency trap. Just to remind us again, 30% by 2030 will be handled by AI agents. But if you think about it further, it obviously also means that still 70% will remain in your existing channels. So still a massive volume. What means you need to handle both in parallel. And now you might say, great. Thank you, Sebastian. E-commerce wasn't complex enough. Now you add agentic commerce on top. That's great. I love it. Well, we're here to support you on this journey, as it is new for everyone, right? The card's getting reshuffled. With Shopware, we want to support you in your journey today. It's about automating processes, increasing your efficiency, start iterating faster on your differentiation, master the complexity, be it in B2B logics, international growth, and tomorrow, more and more into agentic commerce. And yes, you need to have then, integrate new channels, new connections will arise wherever your customers will be. And that's exactly where we believe we can support you. Shopware gives you the freedom to do both. It's not a black box. It's a system that lets you shift the balance between today and the future. And for me, the most important capability you can have in nowadays commerce times is adaptability, the ability to adapt today and tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, it's not about following one fixed playbook. It's about the freedom to adapt, stay in control, shape commerce on your terms. And that's exactly what Shopware and the ecosystem and the community empowers you to do. Our focus is clear. We go and invest further into AI. We will double down on B2B, and we will double down on community. And now, let's hear more about our AI strategy. Here's Daniel to tell you more about it.
Good morning also from my side. I'm glad to see you all here. And I want to walk you through our AI strategy and what we are currently doing with regards to AI. Obviously, AI nowadays is on everyone's lips. Everyone is talking about it. We are talking about society changes, technological changes, changes in e-commerce. And I think with this kind of discussion, in order not to just follow the hype, we really need to think about how does it affect our business and what can we do now in order to anticipate what will come next, right? So there is no easy answers. It's just a transformation happening. And so I think the right question to ask is, what can we do now to be prepared? And so obviously there's many aspects how it's also affecting us as Shopware. We are changing how we are communicating. We are seeing more and more Slack bots answering questions. It's changing engineering, obviously. So AI tools is a thing, and there's numbers around 30% efficiency increases for engineers. So it's out there, and the question is, what do you do with it? And I just want to highlight two topics today. And the one is, how can we ensure that as a merchant, we are found by AI? So if agents are out there, that they find our content relevant. And how can we eventually also ensure that those agents will be able to purchase in our shop? Because that's what's going to happen. Sebastian just said it earlier. And then on the second pillar, I will talk about how can we facilitate those tools in order to increase efficiency and also automate more. So that's the two pillars I will concentrate on. And let's dive right into it. So we already heard earlier, roughly 30% of e-commerce transactions are assumed will happen by agents in roughly 5 years, right? And there's also numbers available now that roughly 10% of web traffic are already created by agents. So we are already seeing the impact, and we are already using agents in this way by ourselves. And to a certain degree, it's not new, right? Half of the traffic in the web is bots anyhow, right? And we prepared for SEO and for search engine bots. So it's not really a completely new thing, but it's changing how smart those bots are and the context they have and what they are looking for. So it's more like they are having an intent when searching, right? What I also find interesting is that usually you think about Gemini and, I don't know, ChatGPT and so on, but it's really not only that. If you think about all major players in the B2B space, you can also imagine that instead of OCI and EDI interfaces, in future we will have agents that can do procurement on behalf of the customers behind the scenes. So OCI is an interface that allows for machine-to-machine communication, but with agents also this game will change. And also B2B will change and how people are using those kind of tools in order to find products online and source their products. So the first question I want to look at is how do we ensure that we can be found by those kind of agents? And obviously, Shopware is well prepared there. So we have APIs ready for basically every functionality in Shopware. And most agents will even have like learned Shopware in their context. The unfortunate part of it is that at this point, there is no single API you can implement, right? It's more like this SEO game where you need to provide context that agents will find useful. So if someone is looking for a Bluetooth speaker for a long journey and it should have a long battery life, perhaps the information that it's a Bluetooth speaker is not sufficient anymore because it also needs to know that it's a Bluetooth 1.2 low energy device or something like that. So providing explicit context will be relevant in the first steps and, until we have proper standards defined that we as a community and as merchants can follow and implement. So we provide the tooling for that. You have the ability to implement those kind of attributes and contexts, but there's not the single one thing you can do and you are done and you can forget about it. It's a best practice you need to adapt. At the same time, we are talking with researchers and innovators out there to understand what we can do now as a manufacturer to optimize our product as those standards emerge. So with the updates, you are set and we are taking care that our solution implements the best practices you need. So now let's say we created our shop and it's optimized for agents, and ideally those agents want to purchase a product at a certain time, right? So we will see that those agents will perform purchases on behalf of customers. And then again, obviously Shopware has the checkout APIs in place to do those things. And we just released our MCP server a month ago. But then again, at this point, those tools like MCP servers are more for your project or for agencies, for developers. If they want to implement agents that work with Shopware, those tools are relevant, so we have you covered. But there is not the single one thing you can do, not the button you can click, and then you are open for AI agent commerce, so to say. And what we're actually seeing in the industry right now is that it's less like a technological change. So this agentic commerce is not some interface you can implement and you're done. It's more, it's partnerships. Many of this is happening behind closed doors even, where LLM providers are finding partnerships in order to allow for this kind of agentic checkout. So it's also important for us to work together with the right partners so that we can allow those things to happen in Shopware as well. So we are, for example, available in PayPal Open, and that's a standard that has the potential to allow for this kind of commerce in the future. And that's also why we brought someone with us today who will talk a bit how PayPal will support this kind of agentic commerce in the future. He is a VP of SMB and Financial Services at PayPal, and he will show you what PayPal is doing to allow for executable commerce in the future. So please welcome with me Ryan Pritchard, VP SMB and Financial Services from PayPal.
Thank you, Daniel. commerce is undergoing a fundamental transformation. Customers are increasingly making end-to-end decisions in AI services. They are now researching products, comparing prices, and making purchases in the flow of conversational experiences. This means that for merchants who want insights into their customers, they must now factor in the AI layer into their overall commerce strategy. Now product data, inventory, and purchasing systems are extending past their digital storefronts and into the world of AI. With this, retailers, both small and large, must ensure that their catalogs are discoverable and purchasable where their customers are, through AI chatbots, voice assistants, on the mobile apps, and many more. PayPal is uniquely positioned to be the trustworthy, secure, and reliable enabler for agentic commerce to help businesses and consumers unlock new value in the AI economy. PayPal is building a commerce agent platform to be the bridge between product discovery and purchasing in this new era, which we will unveil globally with Shopware and partners next month. It is designed to be enabled through GenAI agents to surface products and facilitate seamless checkout for merchants' products, ensuring up-to-date inventory information. It is also designed to ensure maximum reach, including merchant sites, first-party agents, third-party agents, LLMs, and even storefront ads. This isn't just about being ready for today's AI assistants. It's about ensuring merchants remain discoverable regardless of how commerce interfaces change in the future. So let's take a look at what this looks like from the consumer angle. In this demo, I log into the PayPal app. I go to the shopping agent, and I say, oh, I'm looking to buy some blankets. Returns comes back with personalized recommendations based on who I am and what I've shopped for. You can see up-to-date price information from various merchants, but I'm actually looking for blankets for a picnic. So I'm getting more specific, comes back, okay, this is more interesting. I can see from a Shopware merchant, the picnic blanket is exactly what I'm looking for. I get the description, the up-to-date price. I click Buy Now. PayPal is now grabbing the information from my wallet, the funding instruments, my shipping address. It knows exactly where it needs to go. It tells me the price. I love it, order it, and that's it. Fewer steps create less friction for the consumer while boosting conversion for merchants. And it's not just for one surface, but it's for multiple surfaces, including the biggest names in AI. This is context-based shopping with live data from merchants and one-tap execution from PayPal. The order is created in Shopware coming in through a new sales channel. I can see all the details immediately right after the purchase is made, right in the Shopware admin, just like any other order, and I can handle it right away. I can update it, fulfill it, or edit it as I need to. So for the merchant, really nothing changes in the workflow. For the customer, it's a seamless shopping experience right inside our AI shopping experience. PayPal Commerce Agent platform will go live this fall, and soon every Shopware merchant can activate the exact same agent experience directly in their own storefront, enabling conversational chat, product discovery, and checkout. And then AI search partners like Perplexity are already preparing to launch integrations where products from Shopware merchants can be purchased thanks to the PayPal Commerce Agent platform. And this is just the beginning. There's a lot more AI searches that are coming very soon. And here's the exciting part. Shopware will be one of the very first commerce platforms in Europe to make this available for its merchants. It's incredibly simple. You just add a new sales channel into your Shopware admin, and in less than 30 seconds, it's activated. All the settings you need are right there. If you'd like to see it in action, come by the Shopware booth, and later this afternoon, we'd love to talk about it. We are hosting a dedicated talk session where you can dig deeper into some of the topics and ask us a lot of questions. At PayPal, we really appreciate Shopware and value their spirit of innovation and the incredible speed in which they bring ideas to life. Together, we're shaping the future of AI-driven commerce. from discovery to checkout. With that, I'd like to hand it back to Daniel. Thank you.
Okay, so we are now collecting bets if I will forget my water on the stage, as always. But let's dive back into discoverable and executable. So Ryan has just shown us how PayPal supports us to also gain access to big providers like Perplexity and others to be available for agentic checkouts in the features. And that's what I meant with this kind of cooperation is currently what we can do as a Shopware ecosystem if we want to participate in those kind of developments. So now we have discussed how Shopware supports with discoverable and executable, and I would like to switch over to what we are doing for automation and increase of efficiency. And there's one thing I want to say up front, and that's when we're discussing automation, obviously the ideal goal theoretically would be to automate everything, right? Everything should just automate and we don't need to interact with the system anymore at all. But in the reality, we want to be in control. So we want to have the choice if things are automated or not. So we don't want to force any functionalities on you that you don't want to use in your business. So with everything I'm now showing, it's opt-in. You can decide if you want to use it, how you want to use it, and nothing will be forced on you, right? I want to talk about two functionalities we are currently developing, and the first of which is Copilot, and that will be your Agentic Commerce partner in Shopware. And the second one is called Nexus. That's an agentic orchestration engine. But let's start with Copilot. So if you think about what you can do with Shopware and most modern commerce systems, is that you can configure complex CMS elements and shopping experiences, for example. You can create images or modify them to your liking. Shopware has flow builders for business processes. We have promotional engines for discounts and campaigns. And then obviously we have a product module and many more things. And if you think about it, if you use those modules, you are always translating your intent, what you want to achieve, in button presses, checkboxes, configuration options, number fields, and many more, right? So you're translating your idea, your goal, into something that you can do with your mouse. And we want Copilot to do it for you. So the idea is that we use agents that are able to create those things based on your intent, based on what you are describing, what you want to achieve, versus having to learn how the modules work and clicking a lot of buttons. So that's the idea of Copilot, so that at one point you can go and say, I want to create a shopping world or a landing page for a Black Friday campaign, or I want to run discounts for the holiday season or something like that. And it will automatically do those things for you. You can just review it and then send it out. Another thing, what we want to do is that it also is able to provide you insights based on your data, so that it can go and you ask it, how many customers did I make last year? How many sales did I make during the holiday season? And it will find those information in your database and present it to you. At the same time, we also want it to be proactive, so that it can tell you, I saw your conversion went down this weekend. Here are some measures that you can take that perhaps other merchants are doing to improve your conversion rate. So we want Copilot to also be like your data analyst that you can use in order to learn more about your business, and also to have access on the data that might be hidden well in the Shopware data structures, right? So Copilot is already out there. We just launched it in 6.7.1, and we launched it with Knowledge Assist. So that's a functionality where you can ask it how you can set up promotional campaigns, how you can use Shopware. If you have any understanding questions, how to use Shopware, it can support you already. And then later on, obviously, we want to do it for you, right? And then data insights, which I've just shown you, will be launched this fall already. So you can learn more about your system, interact with Copilot in order to get meaningful insights from your shop. And then later this year, we want to launch the first agentic features so that Copilot then is able to do things for you in the shop. You just describe your intent, and it will set everything else up for you automatically. And then those things obviously will be released iteratively as we develop them. Copilot is implemented in a multi-model architecture, so we are not using one-size-fits-it-all API from a third-party vendor and hope that it's good, but we are choosing the right models for every job. It will be something different for the agents than for data insight, and it will be something different for knowledge assist as well. Also, it's model agnostic. So if new models become available, we can exchange it easily, so you're always getting the latest technology that is out there. It's hosted in Europe, so we are making sure that none of your data is used to train the big LLM models. It's staying your data, and we are ensuring that everything is basically in our infrastructure and no one else has access to it. And then, as mentioned earlier, we want to ensure that you stay in control, that you have the full transparency so that you can always feel like sitting in the driver's seat, even if someone else is doing the steering for you. So that is Copilot. Next up, let's talk about Nexus. What is that? So with Nexus, we want to create an agentic orchestration engine, something that allows you to orchestrate your e-commerce project infrastructure. And if you think about it, it sometimes feels like we in e-commerce are quite passionate about creating integrations, right? So we're having integrations to ERPs, to PIMs, to CRM, to analytics platforms. So creating integrations is nowadays a large part of project business and also maintenance business. And that comes with a cost, because it costs time to implement those things, and it costs money to upgrade it and to implement them initially, right? So the idea is that we are providing a tool to make it easier to build those kind of integrations and eventually even do it automatically. So the rough idea is simple. So you have an ERP, and in the ERP, the stock is updated for some reason, and then you want it automatically to also update the stock in Shopware. And then once the stock in Shopware is updated, you also want to update it in marketplaces like eBay or Amazon. And if it's below a certain threshold, you also want to send out a Slack notification. And those kind of optimizations and of workflows will allow us to not only do it in configuration than in code, so we're able to configure it instead of coding it, but it will also allow us to do it automatically to a certain degree if the APIs of those vendors you're trying to integrate are well described. And that's one of the standards we have already in the web. A lot of API is already described, even in a kind of automated way. So we want to use this information out there in order to create those integrations automatically so that you just need to fine-tune them. We want to launch an insider preview in this year already so that some selected merchants can get their hands on Nexus and play with the workflows and give us feedback for that. And then in the first quarter of 2026, we will release it as a beta program with more integrated workflows and especially also with functionality to synchronize Shopware shops. Because really it's not only about integrations, it's also about duplicating data or moving data from one Shopware shop to a staging system, to a developer system, or perhaps even to a marketplace. So also data synchronization is something that we want to do with Nexus, and we are developing it as a strong event-driven platform that can handle millions of those kind of records for you. The final product delivery is planned for the second quarter of 2026. so that more of you can get their hands on it. You have more predefined workflows and even some pre-delivered connectors for our key partners. And then, obviously, step by step afterwards, we want to create more agentic functionalities to create those workflows and to create integrations for you. So that's very briefly about Copilot, your agentic partner when dealing with your e-commerce system, and Nexus, your agentic orchestration engine. So let's wrap it up briefly. We talked today about how Shopware supports you to be found by agents, and also how with our partner PayPal, we are allowing for agentic checkouts, for example, in Perplexity, but also with other search or agentic search providers later. So really making sure that as those transformations happen, that more and more checkouts could be happening by agents, we as a Shopware community and ecosystem can profit from it, and that we have access to the places where those things happen. And then also we talked about how to automate and increase efficiency with Copilot, your commerce partner for your day-to-day work with your system, and with Nexus, their agentic orchestration engine. But I also want to be very clear. Obviously, AI currently is on everyone's lips, and I think we really don't want to only concentrate on that, and that's not what we are doing at Shopware right now. We see it as an additional invest we are taking for the ecosystem to ensure that we have all the connectors ready and that we can participate from the change as it happens, but it's not our single priority, and we also invest in B2B and our community. So that's why I also brought someone special with us, and he is product manager for B2B at Shopware, and he will tell you what we have planned for B2B at Shopware. Please welcome with me Tim Jurchen.
Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be with you in person here. As Daniel said, B2B is one of our focus areas at Shopware, and we invest in it. And the biggest factor we see in B2B is individuality. In the last year, we've got over 400 new B2B customers, and there are so many different industries: fashion, food, services, and many, many more. That's why we said in our last special event, B2B is not like B2B. There is no one size fits all. And remember the different level where your business currently is or could be. In the beginning, with the enablement, developing a customer portal, or the 360 connected sales. With our B2B components, you get the flexibility your business needs. It's your way, it's your journey, and we support you with the components on each level. We at Shopware love the diversity and requirements and needs of our merchants, and we're more than happy to grow with you and deliver what you need to succeed. In B2B, it's even more important that the software you're using reflects the processes, and you don't have to adapt your processes for the software. Only by that you can automate your business faster, for example with our rule of flow builder, and with that reduce your cost of running commerce, and being able to create an individual customer experience to differentiate from your competitors, for example with digital sales rooms or individual customer portals. It's the ability to adapt that stands out in Shopware 6 and its B2B components. As Sebastian already mentioned, some systems on the market follow a closed box approach. At first, that might seem convenient, but at some point, it becomes a real limitation, especially in B2B. Shopware takes a different approach. We give you the freedom to extend and adapt the system exactly to your business needs. You can connect external systems using the plugin system directly on the platform or our app system. You don't have to bend your business to fit into a box. The choice is yours. Shape integrations and workflows in the way that works best for your project and your customers. Shopware is open, extensible, and designed to grow with your business and not hold it back. This results also in high performance. This makes the 16 million price updates per day possible from our customer Interpneu, without interruptions, without limited factors. As Sebastian already showed you in Interpneu, it's the possibility to perform, to scale, that matters. Again, over 350,000 products, 50,000 delivered tires every day. And now I want to show you just 2 examples also on customized features Interpneu delivered with Shopware and its agency tricks. First, their shipment flow. With this feature, they developed an easy solution for the customer to split delivery within just one order to different destinations. This can be defined for each item in the basket, no matter how many, and the order gets smoothly split up in all systems that follow. Another great example is the customized search of Interpneu. Having the possibility to search for the so-called match code, which is the most search functionality of the customers. Finding the right tire quickly, and of course, the search can be updated at any time. And it's also possible to have a detailed search with all parameters a tire can have, width, height, inch, load index, speed index, or manufacturer, all fast and easy to use. Now I want to give you an update on the development of our B2B components. As you remember, the list of our B2B components is already packed with solutions you need for your business. And I'm very pleased to announce that we delivered what we showed in the last special event, advanced product catalogs, and nearly done by this month, budget management. Advanced product catalogs are best for an even more individual product catalog for each of your customers or their departments. And it works at scale, especially for larger catalogs. And in the upcoming weeks, we will release budget management in the B2B components. With this, you can define budgets for organization units, define a cost center, and adapt the budget whenever needed. And also, of course, as all of our components are developed with an API-first approach, you can also set them up with external systems and sync them. As you know, we listen quite closely and are in a lot of talks with our customers, agencies, and developers. Often, there was a request to get support to migrate from our old B2B suite solution to the B2B components. And this is what we did. We developed a CLI migration assistant that helps you to transfer your existing data into the B2B components and get all the benefits and future-proofed features the components offer. That's what Shopware stands for in B2B. Adaptability, control, strong relationships, and future readiness. Together, this makes Shopware the platform for businesses who don't want to go to keep up, but want to lead. Now I got it. And now, I would like to hand over to Michael, who has also some great news for you in another main focus area of Shopware, our great community. Michael?
Thank you, Tim. Community is at the heart of everything we do at Shopware. And community is also deeply personal to me. As a community conference organizer, I've experienced firsthand the power of shared collaboration that allows us to achieve way more than any single individual or customer could do. As a contributor to major open source projects, I believe that open source is one of the most powerful ideas of our generation. And that spirit of openness is what drew me to Shopware. Because at Shopware, community and open source is our DNA. We believe that community is the engine of our shared success. And today, community is more important than ever. We are at the beginning of a paradigm shift, the rise of agentic commerce. Analysts estimate that about 1/3 of all e-commerce transactions will be agent-driven by 2030. Now think about that. That means that in only 5 years, someone will decide how your customers discover, evaluate, and buy your products. The question is, will it be you? The window to act is narrow. Every platform shift comes with a significant risk. We've seen it before. A winner takes most dynamic, where early movers dictate the rules, extract the value by grabbing a significant cut, and lock participants into closed systems. Those who wait risk becoming players in someone else's game, playing by their rules or having to pay to play at all. However, there is another path forward. Open commerce. Open commerce means open vendors and merchants standing together. It means a network, not single gatekeepers, collaboratively driving innovation and value. We at Shopware believe in this network effect, an open alliance of open source and community, ensuring open access, open context, and open exchange. We believe that long-term success will be based on open standards and open protocols. And this isn't just theory, we're already building it. This is why we founded the Agentic Commerce Alliance, to shape the future of open commerce together with a community of strong partners. The Agentic Commerce Alliance unites AI-first companies, merchants, and researchers to build the foundations of open agentic commerce. Shared standards, interoperable agents, and merchant-first data sovereignty. And like every community movement, it starts with a group of trailblazers. We're very proud of our amazing founding members. Together with our partners, we are committed to collective R&D and thought leadership. We want to create open standards for autonomous agent communication, for trust and reputation systems, for scope, payment, and auth, as well as standardized data formats. Yesterday, we held our official kickoff event for the Agentic Commerce Alliance here in Cologne, bringing together our amazing founding members as well as invited experts. We formed clear plans of how to jointly accelerate adoption, unlock new markets, and actively shape the future of open commerce for the agentic age. And this group is only the beginning. We've already seen overwhelming interest from other players who share our vision. Applications are reopening today for core partners, supporters, and researchers. To apply for membership, go to agentic-commerce.org. Looking around this room, it's clear that community is our greatest strength. Because together, openness and community will continue to be the engine of our shared success, today and tomorrow. And with that, back to you, Sebastian.
Thank you, Michael. And I think overall, this was a great run-through for now. So let's sum it up quickly. At Shopware, our focus is clear. We're going to double down on AI. We are ready for agentic commerce. And we were one of the very first platforms in Europe to enable agentic checkouts with PayPal, with Copilot as your commerce partner to automate repetitive tasks, and Nexus will make integrations easier and faster. B2B your way, individuality your way, master complexity at scale. We're going to invest further in B2B with our new B2B components like advanced catalogs or budget management. And, of course, community. For example, the investment in our brand new community hub. Events like today, more exchanges, and the Agentic Commerce Alliance. As I said in my intro speech, for me, the most important capability you can have is adaptability. Today and in the future. We believe in open systems. Wow, 25 years of Shopware. 25 years, this sounds really crazy for me if I call it out. 25 years of building, living, and driving this great community. Because Shopware, for me personally, was always and is always about people coming together, like today. And if I look forward, it feels for me it's just the beginning. Yes, we are 25 years in, but for me, it's still day one. Open, authentic, and visionary. And I couldn't be more excited about shaping the future of commerce together with you all, guys. And now, on behalf of my crew, I wish you all an incredible Shopware Community Day 25. Thank you.